How can one writer change the course of literature, amplify silenced voices, and craft words that feel like poetry? Toni Morrison, the real legend, transformed the world of storytelling and inspired generations. Stay with us to discover how her words continue to shape our understanding of identity, race, and humanity. Welcome to Timeless Sparks. Today, we're exploring the brilliance of Toni Morrison, the first African-American woman to win the Nobel Prize in Literature and a true revolutionary in the art of storytelling. Whether you're a lifelong fan or discovering her for the first time, you're in for a journey into her world of wisdom, courage, and unmatched literary talent. What's a Toni Morrison quote that speaks to your soul? Share it with us in the comments below. Toni Morrison, born Chloe Delia Wofford in 1931, was not just a novelist but also a cultural historian and truth-teller. She wrote powerful books such as The Bluest, Song of Solomon, and Beloved, which delve into the complexities of African American life and identity. Morrison's words resonate deeply, as seen in her quote, "If you want to fly, you have to give up the things that weigh you down." Her works redefine storytelling by blending African American folklore, history, and identity into universal themes, reminding us of the importance of listening to silenced voices. For centuries, African American voices were pushed to the margins of literature, their stories dismissed or erased from mainstream narratives. Toni Morrison understood this deeply and took up the challenge to change it. In her words, the function of freedom is to free someone else. Through her works, Morrison not only elevated African American stories but also challenged the literary canon itself, asking critical questions: whose stories are celebrated? Whose voices are silenced? How to reclaim those narratives? Toni Morrison didn't just write stories, she redefined storytelling itself. Her books challenge conventional Western narratives by blending African American experiences with universal themes. As she said in her Nobel Prize speech, "We die. That may not be the meaning of life, but we do language. That may be the measure of our lives." Her works force us to rethink the boundaries of literature, encouraging readers to embrace stories that have often been overlooked. Morrison's storytelling draws heavily from African American oral traditions, folklore, and song. In Song of Solomon, for instance, she uses oral rhythms and communal legends to preserve cultural identity. These traditions aren't just stories, they are lifelines to a rich history and heritage, which Morrison ensured would never be forgotten. One of Morrison's greatest strengths was her ability to challenge the rules of language itself. She used African American vernacular English to bring authenticity and power to her characters' voices. In The Bluest, she writes, "Love is never any better than the lover. Wicked people love wickedly, violent people love violently, weak people love weakly, stupid people love stupidly." Through this, Morrison made it clear that all forms of language have value, beauty, and power, refusing to dilute the voices of her characters to fit literary norms. Morrison's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel Beloved stands as the pinnacle of her career. It tells the harrowing story of Seta, a woman haunted by the traumas of slavery. The novel asks its readers to confront the horrors of history while exploring themes of memory, motherhood, and resilience. Morrison writes, "Freeing yourself was one thing, claiming ownership of that freed self was another." Beloved forces us to empathize with untold stories and challenges the very idea of whose history is preserved. This masterpiece alone solidified Morrison as not only a literary genius but also a guardian of forgotten narratives. Toni Morrison's legacy isn't just about writing books, it's about reclaiming voices, rewriting history, and inspiring us to think differently about the world. She taught us that language is power, and through her, we see the beauty and resilience of untold stories. As she said, "Make a difference about something other than yourselves." Do you feel inspired by Toni Morrison's words? Tell us your favorite quote or novel in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into her legacy, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about literary legends.